What's up, YouTube fam? How you been? Been a while back here. I've been traveling for work, and I've been super busy and just really hadn't had time to make any videos. Or he had to come out and, you know, put a new printer out that I wanted, and I really like the Q1 Pro, which is this far unit over here, all the way at the end. I love that. It does a little more material than some of the bamboos because it gets up to 350 degrees on the hot end, and it's a heated chamber, so it does a little more, and I really like it for engineering parts and whatnot. So then they released their QIDI +4 model, and it was waiting on my doorstep yesterday when I got back in from work travels, and I figured we go ahead and kind of unbox it. Printer, I will tell you, it is a heavy printer. It's like 75 pounds. This one here, it is much heavier than the Q1 Pro, so keep that in mind and make sure you have a solid enough place to put it if you are in the market for one. It is 75 pounds, so just keep that in mind. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this one and get it cleared out of the way, and then we're going to unbox the QIDI. So I'm going to... Alright, so we got the Neptune 4 moved out of the way, and let's unbox the this big boy down here. Let's get this thing unboxed. Again, this is a heavy package, so not hard about it. Get two people to help you with it. So let's get this thing unboxed and see what it's about. I will say that QIDI got this to me pretty quick, considering we just had Hurricane Helene roll through North Carolina. Thankfully, I used to live in Asheville where all that mess was. Now I'm kind of in the Piedmont Triad area, Sand Hills, so didn't get it nearly as bad. But this got from California all the way to here, and you know, I ordered it on a Saturday, and it was here the Friday for FedEx, so pretty good shipping. Alright, so I just got the machine up onto the counter up there. You can see it is a large machine, and I just wanted to be so I can get the box out of here and actually resume filming. After you lift the machine out, there's a bag around it, and then this is what's down in the box. You got a couple more boxes with some accessories and whatnot, just so you can see that. I'm going to go ahead, and I wanted to point out this is the two boxes that were in the bottom that you get, and actually what's in there is your spool holder and your power cord and the hardware for it, and box 1 and box 2. Of course, you get your benchy filament, little direction pack, the HD screen and all that stuff, and some glue and stuff like that. So that's what's in there. I did want to put that in the video. Let me get this all squared away, and I'll be right back with y'all. Alright, so I got the box out of here, and hopefully that allows for a little more space. And I want to show you what the inside looks like, so I'm going to pull you off the tripod here for a minute. Come over here and you're looking at the camera. You see you got some cellophane to remove, some saran wrap, keep the door closed, some tape in here. Got some tape in here to remove. You'll have some screws that you need to remove. Looks like you got 2 on each side to remove, and they're labeled. You're going to remove those prior to using the machine. You're also going to want to cut these straps and take this cardboard off of here. And one of the nice things about this is I noticed immediately was that on the Q1 Pro, the power switch is in the back. They finally moved that to the side. I do like that because that's super convenient. So let me go ahead and get the wrapping off what I just showed you, and after we get all that out, then we'll come in, we'll put the display on and see how what the interface and everything looks like. So we'll be right back. Alright, so just wanted to bring you back. I got in there, we took off those two zip ties, this cardboard around the print head, also right here toward the exhaust fan there is an activated activated charcoal package. I opened that up and put that in, and now I've gotten to the point where doing the peel and stuff. You know, you can see what I see. And I want to note to self that this is not a sponsored video or anything of that nature. Packaging, they've got the cellophane on the outside, cellophane on the inside. They had the wires all taped down. They had the print head properly secured. Seems like the build plate is properly secured. I'm just taking this plastic off of it. And let me say just something about this build plate. This is a thick build plate. There is no doubt in my mind that, and I think temperature differentials probably going to want to let that build plate soak, because it's a big boy. Definitely is a big boy. Now we want to have these put the handle on. I don't even know. I can't tell what y'all can see. Alright, well, I guess that's in shot now. So just be aware that the screen and the handle for the glass, it comes like this, which it's fine. You know, just read the directions. On this handle, there's two screws and there's a rubber grommet. Make sure you seat the rubber grommet through the glass first. That way you don't break your tempered glass. Just kind of as a FYI. I'd hate for someone to buy a new printer and break the glass because they didn't install it right. Find the right kind of right size Allen wrench here. Always the last one. So those screws were right down in there. My camera ain't gonna focus. And as you can see on the label, it tells you how and where you can put the charcoal filter, and to make sure you lubricate the rails. And then down here, I don't know why this thing won't focus for me. Let's bring it in here. Basically, the thickness of the aluminum plate is thick, and there is a temperature difference between the upper and lower parts during the heating process. It takes several extra minutes for the upper surface to be heated to the set temperature. Please preheat hotbed before printing to improve adhesion of the first layer. And that is to be expected. Anytime you have a super thick build plate like that, let the thing heat soak. I would say if you're going to start like a large print, especially if you're doing like ABS, ASA, things like that, let that puppy soak up 20 minutes or so and let it all get nice and hot before you start your build plate. This also has the second generation fan right here and heater, so you can't I mean, I don't think I would ever be able to electrocute myself on the Q1 Pro because I'm not going to stick my fingers in there. But for all the stupid people out there, it is blocked off now. So don't stick your fingers in electrical sockets, and companies won't have to keep changing things for dumb people. Then you got your fan over here. Really liking it. So let's stick you back on the tripod here momentarily. And I know it's kind of dark in here. I'm sorry about that. Not a whole lot I can really do. I may be able to open this blind just a little bit. Might give a little better light. That's really all I got. Alright, so at this point, get this trash out of here. We'll get our HD display. This is a nice display. This is nothing hard to mount either. Just looking at the thing, you're going to connect your cable, and then you're going to slide it over and lock it in. I'm glad these companies are finally starting to put good displays in their products. I mean, and then I try to feed the excess cable back up into that slot. Let's make sure that's how QIDI wants that done. Definitely not that. Oop, that is not. So read the directions. Don't be like me. So essentially, they want you to feed that cable down through the back of that. In these bottom little clips here. So we'll go ahead and do that now. And make sure you have your display oriented the way that QIDI wanted you to do it, and don't do it upside down. It all makes sense when you just think about it for a minute. Alright. And then they say to get it in the holes and slide it right, and it is now locked in. What a beaut. Take the cellophane off, and go ahead and stick this over here. And one of the things that I found interesting is I was watching somebody's review of this. I see it was coming out, but I don't know, I couldn't get it ordered apparently as fast as other people, or probably because maybe they get it sent to them, I'm not sure. But nonetheless, I was watching somebody, Nazi Works or something, and he was saying something about this head moving. I don't feel any play in mine like that. Like, I mean, it feels standard. But then again, I haven't ran it yet, so I'm going to kind of see what happens there. And, you know, if I have to do like he did and modify it, I guess I will. But I don't know if they've fixed that problem or not. So we'll see. Now we'll go ahead and get our other piece of tempered glass. I'm so glad they went with tempered glass on this and not plastic. I don't mind paying a little bit of a premium for glass. And we'll go ahead and set it up there like so. And they do have a sticker on here for the wiki. I'll leave that on mine. And it just has a QR code if you need to get to it. And that is completely set up. I'm going to get the trash out of here and throw it in the box. And then we'll go ahead and fire up and do the calibrations on it. Alright, so we got it all put in there and whatnot, and let's fire it up. Click the power switch, follow the directions here in the manual. Let's see if we can't get you a better shot of the screen here. On. Alright, we got our light. One thing I can say is them belts that drive the unit, they are definitely thicker belts than what's on any of my other printers. Alright, so now we got our display up. I'm going to try to get it in here so you can see it. Alrighty. Make sure. Hopefully that is visible to you all. And we're going to set up our thing. Of course, I'm going to do English. And then we'll do next. And then it's giving you the directions to go ahead and do all the disassembly of the cutting your zip ties and all that. I've already done that, but it is on screen, so you'll be able to visualize that if need be. Then it's telling you to remove the 4 screws that were on the build plate, securing the build plate to the bottom. We went over that, and I showed you those plastic clips to take out. Just one thing I noticed real quick, this screen is phenomenal. Okay, now it's saying about to move the platform. Please make sure the platform is clean and unlocked. We're going to hit next. And I'm going to zoom out at this point and give you a better indication of what's happening here. And a variety of materials that you could run in here that you couldn't before. Now it's telling us to install the supplies holder. I've already done that. It's just 4 screws, and that's where you put your filament right there. That's that plastic thing. Alright, and now it's telling us it wants us to push the filaments into the unit so it can run its benchy. So essentially I'm going to go and take this filament. I'll bring the camera off for you. I hate making it wiggle, but I don't know what I'm going to go with bamboo's temperature, and we'll just put for PLA. I'm going to do I guess we'll do 200 and up close. And get the stupid thing to focus. And we're heating the nozzle. One thing I'll say, it heated really quick. It's already at 180 degrees C, just that quick. And I'll go ahead and load this so we can print our benchy right on the camera, and we'll see how it does on its first benchy. And then I've got some PETG that I saved that I'll run a couple other little benchies on, and we'll see how it does. Alright. And now we're going to press the load button till we get some stringing coming out the bottom. It is being pulled through the extruder. Alright, so apparently that is all for that. The tutorial. So we've completed the tutorial and we loaded our filament. It's a little different than it was in the Q1 Pro. It had us and we've got everything set. We're going to cook next. We've done that and we've completed that. So now we want to do the so now it's wanting us to do the calibration of the heat bed and all that, so we'll go ahead and we'll do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and figure out where exactly this stuff is, and this unit I need to connect this to Wi-Fi as well. So we'll go ahead and do the Wi-Fi. It does have a LAN only mode. And we're going to try to connect to the Wi-Fi. Sorry, I don't have that on the screen and that's a successful connection to Wi-Fi. Now I'll zoom out. Don't want my. So now the Wi-Fi is connected. And then I always go up and I always go, oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. And I check. And it says online update file detected. I want to update it, so we're going to go ahead and confirm that, and we're going to download that update. Guys, anytime you buy a piece of printing equipment or anything electrical that can take firmware or software, the first thing you should do before you ever do any first prints or anything is update the dang software and firmware. If you hear any reviewer telling you otherwise, they might be a 3D printer, but they're not with technology. Always, always, always update. Check for updates, at least once a week. I'm in IT, I deal with this stuff every day. I deal with printers, computers, peripherals. Update. If somebody tells you it should come out of the box and just be working, no, it's not all the way it works. Sometimes the things are found after. Always update your components and whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and let this update and then I'll be back with y'all. Hey, so I wanted to come back on here real quick. We left off when I was updating the firmware and talking about that. And it turns out that the version 1.4 firmware update cannot be updated via online. You actually have to put it in the jump drive that's provided in the kit. And you just go to QIDI's tech's firmware website and you download it and do a local install. After this update, it will update via the web interface. This has been updating now for about 15 minutes and then we're at about 59%. So it is a big update. But I just wanted to let you all know that I'm completing the update first before we do any calibrations and the first print, just so we know what features and functions are available in the printer and whatnot prior to actually printing. So as soon as it gets done, I'll bring you back and we'll talk about the rest of the printer and the update and what it did. See you soon. Alrighty, so the firmware update just got done, and I see some of the stuff on the screen had changed. I'm gonna kind of zoom in here and give you all a better view, hopefully, of the screen. And I'm sorry about the lighting. Like I said, this is what I got to work with today, so kind of doing what I can with it. Hopefully that's pretty good. So now you got your extruder temp, heat bed temp, chamber temp, you know, light, Wi-Fi, stop on your home. Under your control toggle, you have all your accesses: up, down, load, filament, replace, how far you want to advance things, your fan speeds, and all that. Really nice layout. Really love this screen. This screen is phenomenal. On your documents tab, you got your little benchies and your fidget G codes for your first print, which we'll get to here shortly. Under your tool, you have platform calibration, auto bed leavening, input shaping, and they added consumables drying. And I got to looking into that a little bit. So you can actually put your filament on the build plate and do your consumables drying and make sure your plate's empty and whatnot. And then you use you know, go ahead and put a, they say to use a box. I don't really think that's necessary, but if you want to, you can use a box that's kind of resistant to high temperatures, and you know, you can go on and dry your filament on there. It'll, you know, with the chamber, I would think, honestly, and looking at it, you could probably do 2 to 3 spools on there, maybe 4 at one time, given that it's soaked enough, and I think that's pretty good. So that's pretty neat, a really cool feature like that. And then of course down here you have your languages. We have the network, which kind of curious to why I'm pulling in a people Wi-Fi address right now. I'm gonna have to look into that because that's not even my IP scheme. I should be on the 1010. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the Wi-Fi. Have to, let's look into that and make sure. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Confirm. And we'll reset up the Wi-Fi. Might have been something with the update. And we'll go ahead and put the Wi-Fi in. And let's make sure the Wi-Fi connects this time and we actually get IP address. And that said it failed. I might have typed it in wrong. Have to double check. Let's see. Okay, it connected that time. Maybe I typed it wrong, I don't know. Might have deleted it with the actual Network. Okay, so now I know I'm connected, right? Because I'm actually pulling my IP scheme that I've set up for my house, which is a 10.0.0 kind of scheme. Then we can go down and we've got your Clipper restart and firmware restart. Check for updates. I'm going to go ahead and just check, and it's immediately updated to latest version, which is 1.4. And if you go to more, you have some screen off settings, 5, 15, 30. I'll leave it at 5 for now. I don't see restore to factory, pop-up reminder, file preview, and then you have like an after sales thing. So pretty cool setup on that. Right now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do platform calibration, auto bed leveling, and we'll go ahead and get started with that. So let's go ahead and calibrate it. And now it's going to head to the adjustment point. Oh, I guess I need to bring y'all out some so you can see. Alright, what it's doing now is just heading to its adjustment point to do whatever it needs to do. And the build plate on this is 305 by 280. Usable space, I want to say, is pretty close to like 300 by 300. Really loving this. One thing I'm going to do is, if on my Bamboo Lab and my Q1 Pro, I've got exhaust ducting going to it that vents out the window, and I do ABS in that. So I'll be doing the same thing with that, even though it does have a charcoal filter. And I'm not sure if this unit, like I could show you on my Bamboo Lab, I have a Valexa filter inside, so it also does stuff like filtering the air whenever it's printing ABS. Don't know if I can get that for this unit or not. I have to look into that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the calibrations and all. And after I get it all set up and adjusted, we'll go ahead and we'll do the first print. I'll be back here in a few. Alright, so we went ahead and we did our input shaping and auto bed leveling, and now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to print a benchy and see how it comes out. And got our benchy in there, and this is going to be probably a 14-minute print. I forgot to select hyperlapse, but I guess we'll just have to deal with that. Maybe I can speed it up in the video. Really loving the new control panel on it. It's and the screen is phenomenal. I mean, really. I mean, obviously we'll see how it prints, but I guess I'll just let this run in the video and speed it up, and I'll bring y'all down so you can see it appropriately. And I'll go ahead and zoom y'all in. For the benchy process. Give y'all a good view. It's cleaning the thing right now, and can't wait to see how the automated material system works with this unit. Let's see how it does. Alright, well, she's laying it down. I'm not familiar with their PLA or Rapido stuff, whatever they use, so we'll just kind of have to see how that goes. Everything I use is Bamboo Lab. I just really like their filament. I think it's a really high quality filament for the money, and I usually buy it in bulk, and it's relatively cheap. Like I got 2, 4, 7 rolls of ABS, ton of PET G high flow, TPUs, one thing I've noticed is the belts on the unit. They're definitely wider than normal. Probably, I reckon to say maybe 3 to 4 more millimeters like thicker. It's definitely printing that benchy fast as crap, I can tell you that. Shaking the whole table, and that's a solid table. I mean, it's solidly reinforced and leveled. Might have to get some like jiggly feet that move. I don't know why I always like to print a benchy when I first get it, but it does give you kind of somewhat of an indication of how the printer is set up. Like, this is the only printer I have that like shakes the whole goddamn the whole bench is shaking. I'm not accustomed to that. I'm not. I mean, it does have a big print head on it now, but I like that it gives you your millimeters. There are spots in there, it's hitting 500 millimeters a second, which is, that's pretty screaming on acceleration. But I like that it shows that. And I'll probably, what I'll do during this video, because this is like a, I don't know, 17-minute benchy, I'm not going to make you watch all that. I'll speed it up or something, like 200 times. I was going to put the hyperlapse in there, but I forgot to check hyperlapse. I don't know if we'll have enough for 2 benchies on there. I can't really tell. Probably not. But like I said, I do have this little bit of PET G high flow that I'll put on there and run. A couple other test prints, and then I'm gonna have to adjust this screen. I'm gonna do 15 minutes on the screen. Timeout. Try to see what it looks like when it gets done. One thing I noticed with their their PLA is that they run it at 210 degrees, where like Bamboo's is 220, and like the heat bed is usually 45 to 50 with glue. I'm not using any glue on this, so they just put it at 60, which is fine. I can just tell from my initial looking at it that 78% done. It's hauling butt. Man, that's it. Alright, printing time spent was 20 minutes. Let's see the Benchy. Get rid of this. Better. There's a little Benchy. I mean, you can see it. Let's bring it out some. No stringing in the overhangs or anything like that. right in the back there's a little bit of now the camera ain't gonna want to work for me here, but just a little bit of artifacting. Overall, that's a pretty solid benchy. I don't really think you can yeah, that's a pretty solid benchy. That's clean, very little stringing or anything like that, so I'm pretty happy with that actually. Given a first print, no adjustment. I do have to look at a couple videos. I kind of feel like this print head is a little, it might have that issue, or it needs to be secured with some screws. Feels like it's moving. Yeah. A little more than I think it should. Not bad, but just one of those things. Yeah, but do you guys have any questions or comments on the qudi-tech Plus 4? Please leave them in the comments below. I will be making another bigger print on this, and I'll let you know how that turns out. And probably do that in another video, just due to the length of with this. Will probably already be a 35 or 40 minute video as it is, so I don't want to go too much longer than that. But if you do have any questions about this, put them in the comments below. If you want to pick one of these up, you can go to qudi-tech on their website and pick you one up. I got this with, I want to say it was $7.59 out the door, free shipping, so really not a bad deal. But check it out if you're interested. I think it's going to be a really great printer, and I can't wait to see what they do with the AMS with this. I think it's going to take it to the next level, and I'm really excited to see that. So thank you for being the best part of the channel. Like, share the video, and we'll see you in the next one.